Buenas tardes a todos. Espero que estés bien. Me llamo Donovan Horton, and I'm a first year student at the University of the West Indies. I'm a proud student of the Faculty of Science and Technology, in which I am specializing in the field of medical physics. Concurrently, I ventured into the Department of Modern Languages, where I started doing Spanish as a replacement for a foundation course. And before I knew it, I fell in love with the language. Right? Let me tell you a little secret. I think the lecturers are trying to pull me over to the Department of Modern Languages because these lectures have been nothing short of exceptional. I mean, the level of care and enthusiasm that is exerted into each lecture is yet to be contended with or even matched. I intend to pursue a major in medical physics and a minor in Spanish, as I was told that a foreign language enhances cognitive capabilities and it can open a lot of doors, such as scholarships. One such door is the opportunity to travel to Spain and complete a semester there, or scholarships where at the end of your program you can work in a Spanish-speaking country, more specifically in the embassy. Therefore, I am advocating that you do a foreign language today. So after hearing all of this, what are you waiting on? The time is now. Come enjoy the bliss of a foreign language with me.
Hola a todos, salut à tous. My name is Jodian Ellis and I'm a final year student at the University of the West Indies, Mona. I am someone who is passionate about learning about different foreign languages and cultures, and I am happy to say that I am currently pursuing a double major in French and Spanish here at the Department of Modern Languages and Literatures at the UWI. Learning a foreign language can provide you with so many opportunities. I personally have been able to benefit from a scholarship to study abroad in Spain at the University of Valladolid. I was able to spend one semester abroad where I was immersed in Spanish culture and able to meet new people from all over the world. And that's just one of the many opportunities that are available to you when you learn a foreign language. So I would encourage you all to go to the Department of Modern Languages and Literatures, there where the lecturers are kind, patient, understanding, they're willing to guide you through the process, and I can honestly say that they have your best interest at heart. Based on my experience learning two languages, I have seen where I have improved in my critical thinking and problem-solving skills, in addition to becoming more knowledgeable about different cultures and gaining new world perspectives. So I would encourage you all to take on a foreign language. ¿Qué estás esperando? There is so much to gain, and the experience is truly rewarding and fulfilling. So I encourage you all, learn a new language today. Hasta luego.
Hi, my name is Stacey Minot. I am a graduate of the Tourism Management Program in 2020 at the UWI Mona campus. Going into UWI, I knew I wanted to take French. I had done Spanish up until Cape, and I'm a lover of languages, so I wanted to continue my knowledge. But the Tourism Management Program only requires you to take one Spanish course. And to try and fit your languages in is sometimes a little bit complicated. So I went to the Modern Language Department and had them guide me through the entire process, and I think it was worth it. At UWI, the social science classes are extremely large. You're in a class with over 100 students. Your professors are always changing. But in the Modern Language Department, the classes are a lot more intimate. You have the same teachers throughout your 3-year experience. So you kind of get the best of both worlds, this like large, chaotic, ever-changing, and then a more intimate, you really get to know everyone really well setting. And I thought that was really beneficial and a really nice experience for my university. And now that I've graduated, I can see that having 2 languages under my belt has really improved all of the opportunities that I have. Not a lot of people who graduate from social sciences, especially because, like I said, it's not a requirement for you to do languages. Not a lot of people in the industry have a second language. So when you graduate with it, you 100% get a lot more opportunities than other people do. And I'm now in a graduate experience, and it's the same thing. I put it on my resume because I didn't get a minor, but it still has been beneficial to me just to say that I can speak it and show my skills that I can speak it. And I think the Modern Language Department sets up the classes so that it's really easy for you to navigate, sets up a department that can really help you through the process. And I personally think if you're in the same situation as me, you should definitely go for it. It might be a little bit challenging, but it's totally worth it.
Morning, everyone, and welcome to our outreach webinar for our department, Modern Languages and Literatures. We are so happy to have you here, and I'm just going to go ahead and give the floor to our head of department, Dr. Villoria, who is ready to welcome you all to this amazing opportunity. We are really, really happy to be here with you today and get to know some of our hopefully future students. Dr. Villoria, your turn.
Good morning to you all. I would like to extend a warm welcome to our participants, students, and teachers from various high schools, representatives from the Ministry of Education and Youth, our presenters, lecturers, and students from the University of West Indies, and our technical team. I welcome you to this exciting webinar, in which we will try to give you all the best reasons to study a foreign language and culture in this global world. Moreover, at the University of West Indies, learning languages and cultures does not only provide you with a better cultural understanding, but this knowledge will also become an asset for your future careers. As Nelson Mandela said, if you talk to a man in a language he understands, that goes to his head. But if you talk to a man in his own language, that goes to his heart. And so, we seek to enhance your language skills as much as your cultural appreciation of foreign languages. In our globalized world, language competence is increasingly important. It is no longer an advantage if job seekers speak one foreign language, along with their native language. And so, you can imagine the disadvantage of speaking only one language. We are also witnessing an interesting shift in the world's economy, and you, the generation of the 21st century, need 21st century skills. And this includes reaching cultural differences and using different perspectives to increase innovation and the quality of work. The ability to speak other languages, to communicate with people from other countries will be a need. At the University of West Indies, we seek to fulfill foreign language policy in which all students of the University of West Indies should at least take a semester in a foreign language, providing they do not have any previous knowledge. We want you to go a step further and become independent users of the language, which means to have the full ability to communicate and interact in culturally sensitive ways, but also to learn literatures, films, etc. The University of West Indies has been moving towards more innovative methodologies. And since the COVID-19 pandemic, we saw it as a possibility to innovate, to reach students in other ways not done before. In the 21st century, we are constantly aware of the need for languages in the professional space. This is why, in addition to study languages, translation, culture, literature, and films, we have programs for special purposes in which students will learn the specific language according to their studies. Maybe international relations, tourism, medicine, you mentioned. And our new project soon to come, as I said, languages and tourism. And if you wish, you should know your academic career can grow with us, as we also offer postgraduate studies, MA in translation, MA in language, literatures and film studies, and also we offer postgraduate studies research, which is MPhil and PhDs. So, if you are having any doubts studying languages, I hope the webinar today helps you not only in making the right decisions for you, but also where to do it and when to do it. Choose modern languages, choose the University of West Indies. I hope to see you, or some of you, here in the near future, shining and just like our past and current students, succeeding in your dreams.
Thank you. So now we're going to have our speakers talking about French. We do offer programs in French, a major in French. We do offer a major in French and international relations, and we offer minors in French. So we do have, I think, Miss Asfi, she's going to tell you all about French in our department.
Good morning, students, colleagues, friends, teachers, welcome. Thank you for coming this morning, and thank you for giving your attention to my presentation. My name is Soyini Ashby. I'm an instructor in French, primarily French language at the University of the West Indies in the Modern Languages and Literatures Department. And I'm here to tell you 10 reasons why French is the language to learn. No offense to my colleagues, but French is the best. So here's why. All right. First of all, learning French enriches life and broadens horizons, both professional and personal. Now, why does one study a foreign language? To meet and interact with other people. And that was one of the benefits of French as a subject when I studied it both in school and especially at the university. It was different from the other subjects. Other subjects, you go to a lecture and you listen to the teacher talk and you may or may not fall asleep. But in foreign languages, particularly in French, we use a communicative approach. So our objective is to get you talking, get you interacting. And so in class, we do different activities. Last week, I even had my students drawing. So it is really much more engaging. It's a breath of fresh air in the list of otherwise heavy academic. Well, French is an academic subject, but it is real. It is a living language. The second reason is if you want to meet people, French can help you to meet 292 million French speakers. Okay? French is the only language besides English to be spoken on 5 continents. And it is also the second most widely taught foreign language in the world. So it opens you up to being able to communicate with millions of people. Also, I think as you would have seen in one of the videos that was playing before we started, French is an extra advantage in the labor market. Speaking both English and French will maximize your chances on the national and international labor market, since French is the 3rd business language worldwide. Also, there are French companies that have a presence here in Jamaica. You may know Rubis and Total gas stations. There's a construction company called Vinci. There's a company called Thales that's working with the passport office. There's CMA CGM that runs the port. And and I'm sure there'll be more French companies to come. There are also companies that are from other countries, but have offices in Jamaica and other French-speaking Caribbean countries. For example, Digicel. You're going to see a video after this of a student who did French and engineering. Well, engineering and French. And now he works as an engineer with Digicel, and he has to collaborate with colleagues, engineers in Martinique and Guadeloupe. So my advice to you is do more than one thing. I myself was a science student and I did a French minor, and it has opened doors for me. I've been able to do translation and interpreting. And as you will see in our videos from other students, there are many different career options. You don't necessarily have to go into the traditional teaching, translation. French can be a complement to your being a business owner. You know, you open up the world when you have French in your back pocket. Of course, French allows you to discover a world of culture. French is the international language of cooking, fashion, theater, visual arts, dance, and architecture. And knowledge of French lets you access these great works of art that are produced by French and Francophone, because it's not just, French is not only about dealing with France, it's dealing with all the French-speaking countries in the world. There are so many in Africa. There is Haiti, there is the French-speaking parts of Canada, there is Switzerland, even the Southeast Asian countries, some of them have a link with France. I have been able to interact with people from Cambodia, and our language that we could communicate with each other in was French. And culture is also important, because as one of my teachers once said to me, learning a language without learning its culture is learning a meaningless string of words. So I really encourage you, take on French and take on our language and culture courses and literature courses as well. Now, French is not only useful for your career. If you really want to pursue higher studies, French can help you do that. It can allow you, it opens the doors to studying in French and Francophone universities, which rank among the best in the world. Students with a good command of French can benefit from French government grants and enroll in postgraduate studies in France in all disciplines. So again, even if you don't have a major in French, but you did French and you majored in international relations, you can then go on to do a master's in international relations in French. And one of the advantages of studying in French universities is that tuition fees are much, much lower. It's far more affordable. And as I said before, the education is of the highest quality. Number 6. Now, if you are interested in international relations, many people who take up foreign languages say they want to do so because they want to go into diplomacy, they want to travel, they want to work with people from other countries. French is a working language of many international organizations. It is the language of international relations. The United Nations, the European Union, UNESCO, NATO, the International Olympic Committee. These are all international organizations for which French is an official language. So I believe Dr. Vayoria mentioned a quote from Nelson Mandela, that if you can speak to a man in his language, you will touch his heart. And so if you are interested in international relations, it is crucial for you to do French, and to not just do it for the 2 courses that the minimum that you're required to do it for, to do it to the highest level that you can do it at university, so that you will be able to touch the hearts of the people that you will work with. For me personally, being able to speak French allowed me to work at an international athletic competition, the World Junior Athletics Championships. I was able to work as a team attaché for the Algerian team. So even if you're interested in sports, if you're going to major in the faculty of sports, French is one of the official languages of many international sporting bodies. You will notice that the name of the World Football Federation is FIFA. FIFA comes from the French name, the Fédération Internationale de Football Association. So there you go. French is very important in international sport and international relations. Of course, French gives you an alternative perspective on the world. If you speak French, you can access information, news in French from other French outlets beside the traditional CNN, BBC. You can watch TV5, France 24, Radio France International. You can also, in your studies, access literature in languages other than English. But I did graduate studies in geography, and I was able to access journals that are published in French to augment the quality of my work. And I was also able to do field work in Guadeloupe because I spoke French. So French ties in again with your general knowledge and with your higher education. Learn French for learning other languages. Learning French helps learning other languages, especially Romance languages, Spanish, Italian, Portuguese, Romanian, and even English, because more than 50% of modern day English vocabulary derives from French. Okay, so even the word language, it's very similar to the French word langage. So, and I will tell you a little secret. Well, I learned French before I learned Spanish. So when I got to high school and I started doing Spanish, I used to take the French words and put a Spanish ending on it, and it worked about 70% of the time. So learn French as a gateway to learning other languages. And of course, the more languages you speak, the better off you are. Mon amour, mes chéris, ma chérie. Learning French is first and foremost about joy. It's the pleasure of learning this beautiful, rich, and melodious language, often called the language of love. So you can woo your sweetheart with the beautiful dulcet tones of French. But it's not just about romance. French is an analytical language. It's a language that is known for its famous critical thinkers, its philosophers, Sartre, Descartes, de Beauvoir. So these are all things you will be exposed to by learning French. It's a language for travel. More than 85 million people visit France each year, and your visit to France is much better when you can communicate with the locals in their language. It's not just about visiting France. Again, there are many countries in Africa that you can visit. I'm sure many of you like Afrobeats. African music in French is a wonderful thing to listen to. I encourage you to seek out some Francophone African musicians to listen to. You can also visit islands like the Seychelles in the Caribbean. There's Martinique and Guadeloupe. There's Haiti. So there are lots of opportunities for you to travel with French. I myself took advantage of an opportunity that exists for students of French called the Teaching Assistant Program in France. What it is that the French government recruits students and recent graduates from English-speaking countries, of which Jamaica is one, to assist with the teaching of English in their schools. So you will spend 7 months in France, the French government would pay you, and you are living in France, you are totally immersed in French language and culture, and you have to spend about 12 hours a week talking English to your students. But really, it is a invaluable program, and I know of many students, many of our graduates who have enjoyed the experience and have come back richer and have been able to enjoy job opportunities because they participated in that program. So those were the 10 reasons for studying French. So you want to do French at the University of the West Indies. I'm sure I've convinced you. You're ready and rearing to go. What can you do? All right. If you have not done French at all at high school, you can start at the preliminary level with our beginner's course. If you did CSEC French, you can start at intermediate 1. If you get a 1 in CSEC French, you can start at intermediate 2. These preliminary level courses allow you to prepare yourself to enter the bachelor's program, the Bachelor of Arts in French. And in the Bachelor of Arts, we have language and literature, film, and culture courses that you would do. Now, if you start from the bachelor's level, you just go into the level 1 courses, French 1001, 1002 directly, it would take you 3 years to finish your degree. If you start from the preliminary level, depending on where you start, it could take you 4 years, but you would still also take only 3 years, because we have a summer course that would allow you to accelerate and bridge the gap between the prelim level courses and the bachelor's level courses. So the point of this is to say that you don't have to do French. I would advise you to do French in CSEC and do it all the way up to Cape. If you do Cape, you can go straight into the bachelor's program. But even if you take a detour and you change your mind and later on you want to come back to French, you can always start from scratch. That's perfectly fine. Now, I think Dr. Vioria alluded to a new program that we have called French and International Relations. And the great thing about this program is that it is interdisciplinary. So it combines international relations. You'll have to do courses in the Department of Government in the Faculty of Social Sciences. And you will also have to do our language courses and or film, culture, and literature courses. So it combines a variety of interests. You're not just focusing on politics alone. You're not just focusing on language alone. It really will make you a more rounded person. It will give you a variety of experiences, a variety of different styles of teaching and learning so that you can have a good time while you're studying and be also marketable when you graduate. Dr. Danes Anton also alluded to the fact that we have master's programs in translation. For translation, you would be required to have 2 languages under your belt. So French, Spanish, do the 2 languages. And we also have an MA in, Dr. Vioria, could you help me with the title of the MA? Literature, film,
Language, literatures, and film studies.
Language, literatures, and film studies. Right. For those of you who are interested in going to media, journalism, that MA is also very useful for you. So that's it from me. I think I have taken probably longer than I was supposed to. I'm sorry. But thank you very much for your attention. If you have any questions, I am here. And thank you for coming. Bonne journée.
Thank you so much, Soyini. We'll be taking questions at the end of the webinar. So, do not forget, if you have any questions for her, note it down and we'll take them at the end of the webinar. But, as a Spanish native speaker, I don't know if I'm going to admit that French is the best, but I will definitely say that I did choose to study French. And I can also tell you that at UWI, our French teachers and lecturers are wonderful. You did see all the offerings that we have in French. And I know that if you choose to do French, you will be making the right choice. So, but do not let me be the one telling you. I am going to put up a video from Joel Brown, who was a student in engineering and French, that I'm sure will convince you about this.
My name is Joel and I was an engineering student at UWI from 2017 to 2020. I love French and I've been doing it since high school. I planned on taking French courses through UWI, but because my French year engineering timetable looked like this, I only did French for the last 2 years, which I'm very grateful for despite having some clashes. Having completed a tertiary level of French, I was able to understand and express myself in the language better and more fluently than I ever thought I could. So much so that it had opened the door to new pools of knowledge. I was now able to learn in French, which not only improves your French and helped me with some of my engineering courses, but inspires you to continue as you deepen yourself into the language. Ash was really funny. Lupin was really good. You gain an appreciation. French also allowed me to participate on post-assistant program. Teaching those kids and listening to their innocence, asking for directions on the street, meeting new kind people, seeing things you wouldn't normally see, gave me introspection, and I couldn't have gained that if I didn't do Madam Ashby's homework. In the working world, I find French more valuable than ever, now working as engineer at Digicel, because Digicel is also in the French Caribbean. Often I must make calls to engineers from Martinique and French Guyana, and if it wasn't for French, things would be lost in translation. So yes, French is a great asset that will open a lot of doors. So goodbye, your alter ego, and yeah, good luck.
I am about to introduce now our Spanish lecturer. So I believe that to represent Spanish, we do have Yasmin and Osain. But before, I just want to tell you a little bit about the studying Spanish at UWI. You do have the possibility of doing a major with us. When you do a major in Spanish, you will have Spanish language courses But as in French, you will also have literature and translation courses. This is very important, okay? Because as we have all said before, if you only know the language, yes, great, you will be able to communicate, but you will be missing so much if you don't know about the culture and the literature and the TV shows and the movies and the songs, music, everything about the places that you probably want to visit when you have the language and you can communicate. So if you do the major in Spanish, you will have language courses, literature courses, translation courses. But if you do the minor, you will have language courses, and then you will be able to choose some of our literature or translation courses. Even if you're only doing the minor, I still recommend you take as many courses as you can with us. And also, I think it's very important to say that, when you choose a language, that does not mean that that is the only thing that you can do. You can always do a double major. And then, you can be doing a Spanish with IR, you can be doing a Spanish with history, you can be doing a Spanish with journalism, you can do a Spanish with psychology. A lot of our students have done double majors, and they are now working in their dream jobs, I will say. So I encourage you to do the same. And now to tell you a little bit more about why studying Spanish and what are the wonderful things that we do in our department, I'm going to give the floor to Yasmin.
Hola a todos, buenos días. Hi everyone. Thanks a lot for the introduction, Dr. Tamara Dines. And thanks a lot also for sharing with us all the possibilities that we offer at UWI related to Spanish language. I'm going to be very brief on showing you some of the reasons. Let me share 1 second. Okay, so why Spanish? There are 1,000 reasons, right, that we can say to study Spanish, but one of the main ones is this one fun fact that is the second most spoken language, and Mandarin Chinese is the winner with around 1 billion speakers. As Ms. Sojini said before, French is also a language to learn, of course. Spanish is, Chinese is, and it's great that at UWI you can choose more than one, right? Also, here we have 13 cool and interesting facts, but as I said before, 13 are just a few. We have so many, but I would like you to see some of the most interested ones that we have here. The number of Spanish, Spanish is spoken, for 500 million people with a growing trend. Hopefully, if you join us and you learn Spanish too, you will be one of them, one of the Spanish-speaking persons. It's also a diplomatic language. There's the second most studied language. So as a university, it's something that we do believe and take into account, right? That the interest in the Spanish language is increasing. We have also that is this fun fact here, quite interesting, that English exerts the most influence on Spanish, but the second language is Arabic. Here, Mexico contains the largest population of Spanish speakers. Another interesting fact, for Spanish language in Jamaica or in the Caribbean is the where it is situated, the country. How close you are to Spanish-speaking countries that you can literally have closer to you if you really speak the language. Also, here that the United States has almost 40 million native speakers, Spanish speakers. How also we are very close to them, and all these numbers and figures that I'm saying, you can put it into practice and feel it by yourselves if you really get a grasp of the language itself, right? So what I will invite you to do now is that you join me in a interactive game that we prepare. Is Kahoot. Don't know if you know Kahoot, but I will please tell the teachers around and my colleagues to go to kahoot.it. Let me share again for you to see the website that you need to go. If you please join kahoot.it, I will say in the teachers at school with the phones or in a computer, if you're doing in the computer for the class to play, and you can play as a group, okay? So yes, you will have to go there and join me in this code. You will have to introduce a code that we will see here. So the schools, if you write the name of the school, please, as a team. And if you have many students, maybe you can divide them also in different teams. We have one, thank you. ORHHS. Again, colleagues, if we can join maybe also as a team, all of us, we can share also the answers in the chat if you want, if you cannot access the app. Okay. Right, we have 4 teams now, right? Mm-hmm. 5 teams, very good. Marians, okay. Okay, I think we are almost there. We have 11 teams already, 12 teams, great. Okay, hopefully, even if you're not maybe on a group here, but you can see, you will see the game on my screen, so it's okay, and you can play with your classmates or with your group, even if it's not here. Okay, so we are going to start. We don't have much time, so just maybe to see a bit of the game. See? Yes? Okay, let's go then. Let's see if internet, okay, works in our favor, hopefully. Okay, it's in Spanish, so you will need to help, you will need to find help from your Spanish teachers, right? ¿Cuál es la bandera de España? What is the Spanish flag? We have 4 answers so far. 6 answers. 9. 10 seconds left for those that are not yet there. Who is? Very good. Here we have the fastest. Okay. Second, how many countries they speak Spanish? Where is Spanish as official language? We have some numbers in Spanish for you to practice. We have fast, this one, okay. Most of you were correct. Okay, 44 live. You're the fastest this time. Okay. Where is Ozuna from? I'm sure you know Ozuna. As you see, you have some seconds first to discuss within your group your answers. Five seconds left. Okay. Only two teams were not sure about it. Very good. What is this dance that we are going to see? You can see it again. Three seconds. Very good. Who was the painter for these portraits? Very good and very fast. Okay. How many co-official language do we have in Spain? Natalia, you're the fastest this time. Okay. And let's have just some more. I don't want to wait over my time. This fiesta, what is this festivity that we know in Spain we have called La Tomatina? I'm sure some of you heard of it before. Is in Buñuel, Valencia. We have here 5 on 5 answers for the same in the same time, right? And the correct one was the green. Yes, 150 tons. Okay. And let's do just some more. We don't have time to finish it, but ¿cuál es la capital de Ecuador? What is the capital of Ecuador? Quito, Michael Leon in the chat, yes. Right, correct. Everybody was correct on this one. Great. You are great in geography then. And this one, how many letters do we have in the Spanish alphabet? I'm hoping you are practicing your Spanish back in the class, right? You're probably shouting the numbers in Spanish to your teachers, right? Or to your teams. Okay, blue was the correct 27. And let's do so one more, and this will be the last one. Where is Machu Picchu? Argentina, en Perú, en México, en Honduras. Where is it? In Peru, very good. Again, grades in geography. Okay, so thanks a lot. We can finish now, but definitely I hope you enjoyed this little game. Just a little thing that I wanted to play with us. Thanks a lot. I give the floor also to any other Spanish department member if you want to complete any information.
Yes, I would like to say something.
Yes.
Can you hear me? Can you see me?
Yes.
Okay, well, I'm Mr. Martinez. I'm from Cuba, and I'm not able to win this battle between these pretty lectures that we have in our department. And too ugly. But if you choose Spanish, I promise I will push my head of department to have a trip to Cuba, okay? To know exactly, as a part of the immersion program, to know exactly how to practice our Spanish in the daily life, and as well to show you how to dance salsa. That means if you choose Spanish, we have chance to go to Cuba as a part of immersion programs. It's up to you. It's up to you. Thanks.
Indeed. If you choose Spanish, you do have the possibility of going to several exchange programs. So we do have an exchange program with Valladolid in Spain. Our students do go to Colombia in a teaching assistantship program at the end as well. Well, those that are interested in doing that. And well, maybe there's going to be an exchange opportunity with Cuba to dance salsa. We don't know. We'll fight for that one as well. And anyways, really, I hope that you come to UE. I hope that you choose us, and I hope that you choose Spanish. It will open a lot of doors for you in your job, in your life, to travel, to learn about other cultures, to learn about other countries, and seeing, you know, how well you did in the Kahoot. Maybe the choice for you will be geography with Spanish. We don't know. Double major in geography with Spanish, apparently. Okay, so I'm going to put up a video now of one of our Spanish students, Chanel, who I'm sure will be extremely convincing in telling you why choosing Spanish at UE.
Hola, my name is Chanel Shand, and I'm here to encourage you to do a major in a foreign language. Now, on a personal level, I have gotten a taste of the many benefits there are to be garnered from studying a second language. One such benefit is that studying a foreign language opens you to the awareness of the plethora of existing cultures. The fact is that we live in a very multi-diverse world, and those of us who do not get the opportunity to travel and to interact with native speakers of a different language will sometimes have a very false impression of that culture. My major in Spanish afforded me the recent opportunity to travel to Valladolid, Spain to experience a semester abroad. Now, this experience taught me that you can never truly have a comprehensive understanding of a people until you live among them. I got a first-hand experience of the Spanish way of living and not just a second-hand impression that has been created from someone else's outlook. I also got that sense of accomplishment that comes with being able to communicate in a foreign language. And I believe that this is a feeling that each and every student needs, each and every student craves, is to feel accomplished. We need that extra motivation. We need that drive to continue on our task, to accomplish our task, even when we feel demotivated. We get that encouragement that our goals or educational goals are being met and we are on the right track. So there you have it. I say go and get that degree in a foreign language. The extremely capable and amicable staff at the Department of Modern Languages and Literatures awaits you with open arms. Hasta pronto.
I think we have Chanel there explaining very well why it is that you have to choose a foreign language. She talked about her experience going to Valladolid, Spain in the exchange program, and she talked about how important it is to learn about that culture, to be able to experience it firsthand. And that is why, before I move on, I just want to say again, you know, if you choose a major in French or Spanish with us, we're not only going to teach you about the language. Yes, you will learn to communicate, and that will open a lot of doors for you, but we will also teach you about the culture. We will teach you about the literature. We will teach you about the films, the movies, the music in Hispanic and Francophone cultures. And I do believe that is an essential part of being foreign language lover. And now it is time to go to Dr. Fan and Ms. Wu, who are going to talk about Chinese and what UE offers, which is a minor in Chinese Mandarin. And I am sure that's going to open a lot of doors for you. So let them tell you all about it.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Thanks for this opportunity to introduce Chinese program a little bit. I'm director of the Confucius Institute at MONA, and also I'm teaching at the Department of Modern Languages and Literatures. Actually, French was my second foreign language, so I like learning French. And Spanish, back several years ago, I helped my university in China recruit the first Spanish teacher from Mexico. So this is why both languages are very widely used and spoken. But now I'm going to briefly show you the basic facts about China and the Chinese. Why should you learn Chinese? Yes, at least we have, you know that we have 1.4 billion people in China, and another 100 million people, Chinese are living overseas, outside China. So altogether, we have 1.5 billion native speakers of Chinese. And also China has the longest continuous civilization, up to 5,000 years. So that has something to do with the language. China has the second largest economy, and China is the world's largest manufacturing economy and exporter of goods. And China has 4 of the world's top 10 most competitive financial centers, and 3 out of the 10 largest stock exchanges. And China was also first in total number of billionaires and second in millionaires. So a lot of rich people. As for the Chinese teachers here in Jamaica, as far as I know, currently there are only 3 qualified Chinese teachers, native teachers, working in Jamaica, but 2 are here with our department. 1 is in the North Caribbean University. Okay. So if you come here to learn Chinese, you will receive the I mean, professional and well organized and training in Chinese language, not just the casual learning. It's very formal and serious learning. And job opportunities in Jamaica. You know that quite a number of Chinese companies are working in Jamaica, and many bosses of these companies contacted me to ask for Chinese graduates. Actually, unfortunately, we do not have many. So they ask these graduates to work for them as interpreters or translators or office secretaries, many opportunities. So please, if you have a good command of the Chinese, maybe, yeah, you have a good job and good pay in Jamaica. And back in China, some Jamaican students before the pandemic went to China to study on scholarships, and many of them are working in China for over 10 years. Some of them are still have contact with me, and they enjoy their working, living in China, but they are Jamaicans, yeah. Also, you will have opportunities of studying and working in China. For example, if you want to teach Chinese or English in China or Chinese outside China, you can apply for scholarships if you pass a certain level of Chinese proficiency exam. For example, if you pass the HXC, the level 4, you can have scholarships and you study another 2 years in China and you get a degree, then you are qualified teachers. Now, recently, Chinese government has promoted Chinese language teaching as a foreign language. Yeah, teaching Chinese as a foreign language as the first-class discipline. So there are going to be many research outputs and many job opportunities in China in the future. Yes. And these are some facts in the past 10 years that China contributed to its people and also to the world. So I just want to mention, look at the bottom. China is the largest trade partner to 140 countries in the world. Look, so that's how Chinese is important for business. Yeah, many achievements. And also the Chinese language is not that hard, and doing the language is beneficial for all of them, all around beneficial. For example, look at this character. It means hello, or it means good. It means good. But in the left part is the female, and the right part is the male. Female and male, good together. And also left part can mean a mother, and the right part can mean a son. Mother and her son together, good. So this is a Chinese character, most commonly used one. And perhaps you can do a small game. You can easily judge which character means what. So maybe you take 1 minute to find, because the shape, look at the shape of those characters, 6 characters. Based on the shape, you will know the meaning, definitely, right? Yeah, so not that difficult, because a lot of people can know the meaning of the characters, but they do not necessarily can speak and pronounce. So that's why they can read. And next, I'll show you a few recent photos in China. Maybe you will be interested in seeing these places. And lastly, I just want to mention, because there's some information not from official, I didn't find it in official document, but my daughter is working now as a translator in WIPO in Geneva. WIPO is a World International Property Organization. Yeah, she told me that the WIPO needs translators between Chinese and English so badly because for the past few years, China submitted the most patents application to WIPO. So they are so busy, they don't have time, they don't have the people to translate this these documents. So if you are Chinese, your Chinese is good enough, you can apply for the job there. Okay, so next, I think my colleague, Ms. Guo, will tell you more about the program in the department. Okay.
We're going to play a video from one of our students here at UWI, who then went to China to keep on studying and is now back as an instructor at the department. So you can see how studying Chinese definitely will open doors for you. Here's the video from Mr. Adrian Lindsay.
Hi everyone, my name is Adrian Lindsay and I am a past student and former foreign language instructor of the Department of Modern Languages and Literatures at UWI. As a student, I did a double major in Spanish and French, focusing on both translation and literature in both languages. I love languages so much that I decided to do Mandarin each semester as an elective because at the time they didn't have it as a minor. I was an active member of French club, Spanish club, and Chinese club, among other clubs at the university. I received the Bridget Jones and William Mailer bursary for outstanding French language students twice, and I also received the award for outstanding academic performance in Chinese language 3 times. As a result of studying these languages, so many doors of opportunities were open to me to study and or work overseas in countries such as France, Colombia, and China. At the end of my first year, I received a scholarship to study in China on a summer program. And for me, that was a great opportunity to experience the language and the culture firsthand, to know whether or not I would be able to study or work there in the future on a more long-term basis. It was a great opportunity for me to share my knowledge and experience with my fellow countrymates and also the international students who were enrolled in the department. The time I spent with the Department of Modern Languages and Literatures at UWI has indeed helped to mold me into the versatile teacher, coordinator, researcher, translator, and interpreter that I am today. Thank you.
Ms. Wu, are you ready to talk about the Chinese minor now?
Yes. Sorry, my phone got some problems. Hi, good morning. No, good morning. Still morning. Yes, good morning, everyone. I'm Yaya, a Chinese teacher here. So after Dr. Feng and Mr. Lindsay, I would like to introduce some keys and some courses about our Chinese courses here. So here in our department, we offer, I hear some echoes. We offer Chinese courses here. You can choose it as your foundation course, or you may do it as your minor. So if you want to do it as your minor, which will require 3 years of learning, which is in total 7 courses, 6 language courses learning, and 1 more history or Chinese culture learning. Yes, that and at CI, which is a Confucius Institute, we also provide some courses like if you like Chinese food, you can register to experience how to make Chinese dumplings or Chinese food or something. Yes, and also every the last Friday of each month, we have a Chinese movie weeks. Yes, and that's and also we have a Chinese evening classes here for like all the levels, and also Chinese business Mandarin. But apart from that, I just want to briefly introduce the key to learn Chinese, because the students, for the level 1 student, they keep telling me that, oh, teacher, Chinese kind of a little bit hard or something, whatever. But let me say, Chinese is really very easy. Like, for example, good morning. Good morning in Chinese, we just say 早. Just one word. In English, that's two words. And if you learn Chinese, you don't have to confuse or to memorize the grammar. Like, Chinese is unlike French, Spanish, or English. Chinese, there's no verb conjugation. No, we know you don't need to memorize the verb tenses. Like, for example, to see. In English, we have a past tense like saw, seen. But in Chinese, only can, just one word. And also, if we learn English, we have to learn like different noun forms. In Chinese, no need, just one noun. So the basic order of Chinese is a subject, verb, object, exactly as in English. So we do have so much common. If you learn Chinese, because in Jamaica we speak English, right? So do not hesitate, do not waste your time to think, if I shall choose Chinese or Japanese or Korea or anything, just make a decision. Chinese, very easy, just a word. And for your career, as Dr. Feng has already mentioned, so China now has become a large world market. So if you do Chinese, all those international companies, they are looking for, someone who can speak Chinese, who know the background culture of Chinese. Yes. And also, if you want to, you like to watch Japanese dramas, Korean drama, or the other South Asian countries drama, you will see there are many Chinese cultures in it. Oh, and you will also see Chinese cultures. Like, especially when you read Japanese and Korean comics, you will see there are many Chinese words in it. So study Chinese is very also helpful for you to learn the other languages. Yeah, so yeah, that would be all, just some keys for you to learn Chinese. Remember, Chinese is easy, and we are ready here. We are waiting for you here. We are looking forward to see you in next semester. Yes, thank you. 再见.
Thank you. So definitely, please do remember, we do have a minor in Chinese at UWI. We do also have a minor in Japanese. I am about to give the floor to Ms. Perez, who is going to tell you all about the minor in Japanese. But, come to UWI, do our Asian languages. And as you saw in the case of Adrian Lindsay, you do not have to choose only one. You can do several languages. So please go ahead and, learn a foreign language or 2 or 3. And now we're going to hear everything about Japanese in the department. Ms. Perez, are you ready?
Okay, konnichiwa. Are you seeing my screen? Konnichiwa.
Yeah, yes.
Okay, konnichiwa. Hello, konnichiwa, everyone. I am Grace Perez, and I am one of the 2 Japanese instructors here at UWI. And today I'm going to invite you to study Japanese here at UWI as well. Obviously, they saved the best language for last, so I'm not going to try too hard, because I know you're gonna at the end of this, everybody's going to study Japanese. But also, as Dr. Denis Anton said, you don't have to do one, you can do multiple languages. All right, so I'm going to start by, I think we already know a lot of Japanese. Well, at least a few words in Japanese, and I'm going to start by confirming that we already do know some words in Japanese. And I'm going to ask you to write in the chat, or you can just say the Japanese word for the images that I'll show. All right, so I'm gonna do 10 words that you already know in Japanese. Can you write it in the chat? And colleagues, you're welcome to participate as well. Students, can you write the word? Or you can just say it, you can raise your hand and say it if you wish to as well. Anybody? Yes?
Yes.
And that is correct. That is correct. So we have the first one right. Karate is correct. Next one, I think most of us know this one. Can you write it in the chat? Yes, that's correct. That one is sushi. How about this one? See, Wilma's got that one. How about this one? Very good. Wilma's again. This one is tsunami. Tsunami. How about this one? Do we know this one? Yes, that's correct. Sake, Japanese rice wine, sake. This one. Okay, the spelling is actually karaoke, karaoke. And kara is the Japanese word for the same kara from karate. So I forgot to mention, karate means empty hands. So you don't use any weapons, it's empty hands. And karaoke is also empty, like it means empty, and oke comes from orchestra. So it's empty orchestra. You're singing over an empty orchestra. All right? How about this one? Do we know this one? Very good, very good. Emoji, emoji. Right? Text, picture is for picture, and then text. Right? And this one, do we know this one? Yes. Ulmas again, ninja. How about this one? For the clothes that this dress, not the mannequin, the dress. Very good, and we got the spelling right as well. This is kimono. How about this one? Good, sumo, Japanese wrestling. And this last one, the word for teacher, do we know that? Yes, that is correct. Sensei, sensei. All right, so very good. We already know at least 10 Japanese words. We're off to a good start. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how to learn even more Japanese. All right, why study Japanese? Why study Japanese at UWI? So reason number one is it's the language of anime. How many of you love anime? I'm sure quite a few of you love anime. And at UWI, lots of students study anime, study Japanese because they want to be able to watch anime without the subtitles. And I'd say studying Japanese at UWI is a good start. It's a very good start. And if you put in the work, you will definitely meet your goals. Okay? And another reason to study Japanese is it's a very cool language. And yes, as Dr. Fo said, it originates from Chinese. Some of the characters originate from Chinese. We call them kanji, and the translation is actually Chinese character because they're from Chinese. And as Dr. Fo demonstrated as well, you can look at the characters and guess the meaning of the word. He did this one already, which we know that this means light. And can you guess what this one means, the one in blue? Can we take a guess? If you take a close look at it, I think you will be able to visualize somebody with outstretched arms saying it's this big. It's this big. And I think this will give you a better image right here. So this one means big, right? So this actually means big like. And this says, I love Japanese. Literally, I have a big like for Japanese. All right. So just like this, and like Dr. Fo demonstrated, you can actually guess the meanings of the words based on the appearance, right? And so that's very interesting. That's very fun. And that leads us to the next reason. Classes are fun. Japanese classes at UWI are fun. And here we have 3 different types of classes. We have a seminar class. This here where we do mostly reading and writing. And then we have, these are seminar classes, and here the students are doing presentations. We recently had a Japanese guest, and here some students are doing presentation on various tourist spots in Jamaica. And here they're telling her about different expressions in patois. All right. Here we have our listening class. So we focus on the spoken word. So in these classes, they listen. You can see the students have on headphones, and they're probably watching a video, and we're focusing on, listening. We also have smaller classes, smaller, more intimate classes, where we do conversation. And in these classes, we also do fun activities like games. Here I am teaching them how to use chopsticks. And then when we're done with that, we did a quick game where they had 15 students. The students had 15 seconds rather. The students had 15 seconds to put as many beans in these little cups as they could. And then the winner got a prize. So we have fun games going on as well. Another reason is, well, as you see from the fact that we learn how to use chopsticks and so forth, you also learn a lot about Japanese culture. There are many opportunities at UWI to learn about Japanese culture. We have Japan Club. Japan Club meets every week, and you, the students, get to decide exactly what you're doing in the club, for club activities. So sometimes they get together and watch anime and chat about anime. They do presentations on various aspects of Japanese culture, and they also do traditional Japanese dance. So on Modern Languages Day and Japan Day, the students do a presentation of Japanese dance and sometimes songs and so forth as well. So these are students actually doing a Japanese traditional dance on Japan Day. Okay. This also shows them setting up a booth for Japan Day. Here we have a student doing a presentation once a year. We have a Japanese speech contest, and we didn't do it throughout the pandemic, but we plan to resume this next year. Well, this academic year. And this could be you. Here's a Japanese student who is doing a speech in Japanese in front of his peers, and a lot of Japanese people. The Japanese community is very supportive of this, so they come out and they listen to his speech, listen to the student's speech. Here we have more cultural activities. This is Takamura Sensei, who's the other Japanese teacher, and she's with her student. They just did origami, which is paper folding, and as you can see, they made a Pikachu. This is just this was actually this week. This was on Tuesday. We had guests to our class, and these are the students just hanging out and chatting with the guests after class. We also have cultural and language exchange with students from universities in Japan. So here we have this, only the 3rd year students participated in this because they actually had to do presentations about student life at UWI, and in Japanese, of course. And the Japanese students as well. Right here, you have a Japanese student who is sharing with our Jamaican students or UWI students about the different kinds of sushi. So we have this kind of cultural exchange happening. Reason number 5, you will also have opportunities to study in Japan. We have the Dokyo exchange program. So UWI students go to Dokyo, and we actually have one student, Tariq, who is in Dokyo right now. And in the past, we've also had students come from Japan here and study at UE. There's also the mixed scholarship, which the Japanese government pays your full tuition, pays for housing, and you get a fairly generous stipend as well. All right. After JET, you can go to Japan to teach English on the JET program. And after this, we'll have Renick-san, who has been to Japan on the JET program. He will tell you a little bit more about that. All right. So here I have a few pictures. This is Jovan-san, who he went to Japan on the JET program. He came back, completed his studies at UE, applied again, and he's in Japan now on the mixed program. So he actually went on 2 different programs. All right. I got this from, this is Cargill. He sent me this maybe a couple of weeks ago. And he said in his message to me that after dreaming about being in Japan for so many years, he's finally living the dream and he's really enjoying it. And I had him join us in a online class that we have. And he actually took his camera and gave us a little tour of his dorm and the surrounding area. So these are people who came to UE and they did what they were supposed to do. Oh, it's not all fun and games in the sense that you actually do have to study. As you can see, the language is very different from English and Spanish and French that you're studying now at high school. So you will have to work hard to learn, to read and write. But once you put in the work, there are all these opportunities available to you and it's definitely worth it. So this could be you in a couple of years sending us messages and pictures from your experience in Japan. And you can get started now before you actually come to UE. You can get started by going to online. So there are many different places where you can do courses online. The Japan Foundation is one that I recommend. It's a Japanese government agency and they have self-study courses online. Just Google Japan Foundation and you should be able to find a good course for you. All right, so you can start with that. And we're waiting for you to come and join us in classes here at UE. All right, that's all for now from me, but Renick will tell you more about the JET program and so on, his experience. Arigatou gozaimasu.
Thank you so much. I think that we are now fully convinced that studying Asian languages at UE is the way to go as well. So honestly, as you can see, we're all telling you about students who have done the courses here at UE and then have gone and actually, they've got their dream jobs, they're living their dreams, they're living in a foreign country, they're learning so much. So that can be you. You just have to come here, study with us, and then that's it. Go ahead into the world and enjoy all the opportunities that languages will open for you. We have now Renick, who is going to tell you a little bit more about living in Japan thanks to the JET program. I believe that we have a little video, right?
No, there's no video. I'm
it's you, actually. This is better.
It's me, yeah.
Great.
Okay, hi guys. So my name is Renick, and you just had a really cool introduction into Japanese from Perez Sensei, who was my sensei during my time here at UE. And I'm sorry for the disturbance. But as Perez Sensei showed, there are lots of interesting stuff that you get to do in Japanese classes here. So you learn a lot about Japanese culture. You learn how to use chopsticks. You learn the sorts of greetings that they do in Japan. You learn not to shake hands, but you learn to bow instead. You get to see traditional Japanese wear at the different sorts of ceremonies that we have through Modern Languages Day or through being invited to the embassy. And I just wanted to say I started Japanese from zero. So I knew absolutely nothing when I took my first Japanese class here. But after my first year, I was awarded a scholarship to study in Canada for a year. And in Canada, I continued my Japanese language studies. And I eventually, I'm so sorry for this. There's something happening outside. But I participated in the Japanese language speech contest in Canada. And actually, I was able to represent my province at the National Canadian Japanese language speech contest. And even though I didn't win the national competition, just making it that far after only a year of Japanese studies was fantastic. And it shows the level of experience that you will get through studying the language here at UWI, and also that you can do really great things through studying a language, because Japanese used in Japan, but I was using it in Canada and doing great things in Canada with Japanese. I participated on the JET program after graduating here, and on JET you teach English to junior high schoolers, senior high schoolers, and elementary school students. And I had a really good time in Japan. I think I had a great foundation from learning here, and I was able to communicate well with my students. I had a really good rapport with my students because of being able to speak Japanese. And there are some people who struggle more in Japan due to not knowing any of the language, but I must say that the department prepared me really well. And I was able to have a really good relationship with my teachers. I traveled around Japan a lot. And while in Japan, the Japan International Corporation Agency reached out to me because I had done so well at UWI. And I think I got the highest Japanese, the award for the highest Japanese scores for the whole 3 years here. And JICA reached out to me to tell me that they wanted to offer me a scholarship to do my master's in Japan while I was already there. So I took advantage of that opportunity. And for the last 2 years, I've been living in Tokyo. And, Tokyo is the world's largest city. There's so much to see: Tokyo Tower, Tokyo Skytree. And there's awesome transportation systems. There's just a lot to see in Tokyo, and I was able to take advantage of that. So if you do study Japanese, there's a whole world awaiting you. You can go not only to Japan, but you can utilize your Japan in different countries, especially if you participate in like speech contests and you win, you're able to go to different places. So do study Japanese, you're able to learn a lot. And now I've passed the highest level of Japanese language exams, JLPT N1. So I still do need some subtitles to watch anime, but I must say I've come a very far away from starting from zero. So do study Japanese, and I encourage you to join the department here. That's it from me.
And also, even though he has not mentioned it, apparently he studied other languages at UWI as well. But clearly he loved Japanese, and it's just a question of showing you how our students are really, really living their dreams now. We're very happy to have you join us and tell us so much about learning Japanese and all the doors that has opened for you. And we're now going to show a little video from Casey Mills, who is now an instructor in our department, but was one of our undergrad students and then postgrad student.
My name is Kezia Mills. I am a Spanish instructor in the Department of Modern Languages and Literatures, and I am going to be speaking to you briefly about my experience as an undergraduate student and my current experience as a postgraduate student in the department, again, pursuing a PhD in Spanish. So when I began as a first-year student, I did not begin at level 1, as I did not have the CAPE prerequisite that would allow me to begin at level 1. Instead, what I had was equivalent to CSEC. So I began at the intermediate level. The first language class that I took was intermediate Spanish, SPAN 1000. However, with the encouragement of my lecturers and my instructors, and also encouraged by the student-friendly and student-centered environment that the department fosters, I persevered and was able to take courses in the summer so that by the beginning of my second year, I had already completed all the required courses for the first year of the Spanish program. And so I continued until I completed my program of study and graduated with a Bachelor of Arts in which I majored in Spanish and minored in Chinese as well as international relations. During my time as an undergraduate student, I really enjoyed reading the text and the novels that we focused on in literature classes. I enjoyed researching and writing about the theories that we engaged in class and in the texts. And I also enjoyed analyzing the ways in which each author crafted their plots to bring about a certain effect and also to communicate certain ideas and messages. Again, with the encouragement of my lecturers, as well as learning about award and scholarship opportunities in the department and the wider university, I decided to pursue postgraduate studies, in this case in Spanish. In her words of welcome that are found on the department's webpage, Dr. Vioria, our head of department, describes the department as one that is dynamic, international, and student-centered, one that is rather committed to the development of its students. And so I can definitely attest to this. So you have already heard others speak about the value and importance of studying a foreign language. And as you consider your next steps post high school, or for any of you who have already matriculated into the university, who may be thinking about studying a language in the department, what I would like you to also consider is that there is more than one pathway to matriculating into any of the undergraduate programs that are offered in the department. And the faculty and staff here are always willing to help you figure that out, whichever path that may be. So I am no doubt expecting and hoping to meet some of you as students in the department in the future.
Thank you. Yes, so as you can see, another success story. We have Kaesia, who was an undergrad student, then postgrad student, and is now working with us in the department. And she has pointed out at something that we have already mentioned, but that I would like to highlight again. There are many ways for you to enter our programs. Of course, we're always going to advise you to do foreign languages at high school, to get your CSEC, to get CAPE. But even if you come to UE and you don't have any knowledge of a foreign language, we are here. You can start from scratch. That is a possibility. We will help you. And even if you start from scratch, you know, we all have to start from scratch at some point. So that's the way to go. And now we have a little video from one of our past students in Spanish and IR, who is now working with a Spanish-speaking embassy. And she will tell you a little bit more about how learning Spanish helped you in finding this dream job.
Buenos días a todo. Good morning, everyone. My name is Jessica Main, and today I will be telling you a little bit about my experience studying languages at the tertiary level and how that has helped me in my current job today. So I will actually be graduating next week with a major in international relations and a minor in Spanish. And during my second year of studies, I got the incredible opportunity to go on the Erasmus Student Exchange Program. And I must say, to this day, it is probably one of the most incredible experiences of my life, because I was able to travel, I was able to immerse myself in a different culture, learn more about myself, gain more independence, and of course I was able to challenge myself and my passion and love for Spanish, because an important part of learning a language is knowing that you're not going to know everything, you're going to make mistakes, but it will only make your fluency in the language even better in the long run. And I must say that studying international relations and Spanish, as well as going on the exchange program, has helped me so much in my career today, because currently I'm actually working as the assistant to an ambassador for a Spanish-speaking country here in Kingston. And it has been an experience thus far. I'm definitely enjoying it, because now I get to apply my Spanish on a daily. I have to speak with the ambassador in Spanish, and many of my other daily duties, involve my knowledge of international relations and Spanish. So I just want to encourage those of you who are studying, whichever language it is, Spanish, French, Mandarin, please know that there is space and value, especially in Jamaica, for what you're studying. Because if somebody told me when I was in first year that I would be able to be the assistant for an ambassador, I would have told them that that's impossible, because a lot of persons don't see value in languages. So I just want to give you guys that encouragement to know that when you do have a language, a second or third language, it opens many doors for you. And if you guys ever have any other questions about, the student exchange program, or if you're studying international relations and Spanish, or something in the social sciences and another language, and want some guidance as to how to find jobs, please feel free to ask Dr. Ravieria for my number, and I will be more than willing to give you guys some more assistance. So past the 2-minute mark, I don't want to be chatting too much, but just sending you guys all the blessings. Stay strong in your studies. I know times are still tough with COVID, but stay safe, guys. Keep on studying, working hard, and thank you so much for listening.
I know that you have heard from so many of our past students. You have heard from so many of our lecturers. We have all told you and hopefully convinced you that learning a foreign language, learning about literature, learning about culture here at UWI is the way to go. So now I'm going to open the floor to any questions, comments, discussion that you may have. You can type in the chat, you can raise your hand, just let us know if you have any questions, if you want us to say something more. This is the time for you to, oh yes, Michael, please go ahead.
Good morning, colleagues. Good morning, students. My camera is flipped upside down. I'm not sure why that happened. I need to fix that. Okay. Just be very, very brief. My name is Michael Leon. I'm from Kingston, Jamaica, and I'm currently working as a translator for Pepsi Cola, Jamaica. So saying that I translate documents is just really scraping the surface as to what I do. Yes, I do the translation of documents. Yes, I provide interpretation skills during meetings as well. But more so, I am more the link between the Jamaican operation here and the corporate head office. So I have to ensure that the company is following certain policies, certain manufacturing policies. I have to be there present during the audits as well. And mind you, I'm doing all of these things in Spanish. So that was the first thing. Since working with Pepsi, I have realized that having a foreign language is a key. It's a major key. Reason why I say that, because for you to hold certain posts, you need to be bilingual, because you have to be able to communicate with the corporate offices. You have to be able to communicate with the managers. So it's a very, very important course. So I'm very happy to see that you guys are on this journey from the get-go, from the earliest point possible. Reason why I'm saying that, because I started my journey in Spanish very, very late. So I learned Spanish when I was 30. I went to Colombia when I was 28. I spent 2 years in Bogota, and I learned Spanish, came back, started teaching it, did a whole bunch of certifications in Spanish. right? And here I am right now. And I'm also doing a master's in logistics as well, but I'm doing it in Spanish, right, with the Integra University in Madrid. So what that does for me is that it is two birds, one stone. Dos pájaros, solamente una piedra. So I learn the language, right, and I get the skills right there and then. So which automatically puts me a notch above the rest. Because it's one thing if you know the language, but you also need to know the technical language. So that in itself is going to make me very, very versatile. So I'm very happy that I have been able to come and, you know, have this talk with you guys, very, very short. Just let you guys know that you're on the right path. And I know most of you are taking it from high school, from Cape. So that is very good. That is very, very excellent. Because to be honest with you, I did not even do Cape Spanish. I never did Cape Spanish. And I did not do a first degree in Spanish. I was having problems with the grammar. So what had worked for me was just full immersion, living in Bogota, traveling, you know, going to Ecuador, Peru, Cuba, Chile, you know, all that traveling really, really helped me, you know, that immersion. So I'm very happy that you guys are taking it from the high school level. Now, just to leave with just a few pointers, right, as to how you can carry your career, is that once you have gone into the university program, which is very, very good, mind you, they have a very excellent program there. I recommend that you do your DELE as well. You need to find some way to do your DELE because that will give you that international certification.
Yes, sorry to interrupt you. That was wonderful. Thank you so much.
Sure.
It's just that we're a little pressed with time, but thank you. Because honestly, this is just another example of how important it is to learn a language in order to grow, you know, as a person, but also professionally. So, of course, studying a language, formally studying a language at school first, in high school, then hopefully at UWI or at university level. And then of course, it will be extremely important for you to, you know, like travel. As we said, all our programs do offer some exchange programs. So we are definitely encouraging you to travel and, you know, get a lot of practice in the language and learn about the culture. So, you know, like we're just hoping to get, do we have any other comments, questions? Anything from our high school students that I'm sure have been enjoying the webinar? We did see all their answers to the Kahoot and the different quizzes, so we know that they're there and we know that they're ready to learn. Do you have any questions for us? Well, perhaps not today. That's okay. Just before I close the session, I just want to say again, you know, studying a foreign language, we do really think that it will be essential to your future profession. We do think that it will help you to grow as a person. We think that knowing another language and knowing about other cultures make you more rounded, let's say. And you will have the recording of this session and also all the little videos that we have been putting here. They are available in the department's website. The department's website, you will also see some contact details. So in case you have any questions later, you can always send an email, call the department, and they will be able to help. And we are really, really looking forward to having you here in the future with us. Maite, do you want to say anything to close the session?
Well, not really, just all has been said, just that we are waiting for you. We are a very dynamic team, multicultural, waiting for you. And we will be really pleased to welcome you here at the University of the West Indies Modern Languages and Literatures. Thank you for being here.
Thank you and have a lovely day.